Hey everyone, wherever you're listening from today, we're so glad you're here.
And I'm Evan. Whether you're out for a walk, on the way to work, or just taking a quiet moment to yourself, thank you for pressing play. Today's episode might change how you think about fluency forever.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right but still not moving forward in English? You're listening to podcasts, watching videos, spending time with English every day. But when it's your turn to speak, your mind just goes blank?
Yeah. It's like you're on a treadmill, working hard, sweating even, but not going anywhere. And you start to wonder, is this even working? Am I ever going to feel fluent?
If that sounds like you, take a deep breath. You're not alone. We get so many comments from learners just like you. Some say, I'm improving slowly, day by day. Others say, I'm listening a lot, but nothing is changing. And both are valid, because the journey looks different for everyone.
But here's what we know for sure. Just because it doesn't feel fast, doesn't mean it's not working. Learning English is like watching the sunrise. You sit in the dark for a while, wondering when the light will come. And then slowly, almost without noticing, everything starts to glow.
And this episode, it's for every one of you still showing up, still listening, still trying. We're going to talk about something that might completely change how you look at fluency and why the thing you're already doing every day might be the most powerful skill of all.
So let's begin. No pressure, no rush. Just one honest question to open this up.
Yeah. Which comes first, speaking or listening? It seems like a simple question, but your answer can completely shift how you learn English.
It sounds obvious, but most of us underrate it.
And here's the truth. Fluency always begins with the ear, not the mouth. You can't speak what you've never truly heard. Trying to speak without enough listening is like trying to write music without ever hearing a melody. You're guessing. You're forcing it. And that's where frustration comes from.
Think about babies. They don't learn by repeating textbook grammar. They spend months just listening, absorbing patterns, sounds, tone, long before they say a single word. And when they finally speak, it's not because they studied. It's because they've already heard it all 1,000 times.
But many adult learners skip that phase. We get impatient. We want to speak fast, without giving our ears the time to tune in. And that's where fluency starts to feel like a struggle. So today, we're slowing things down and guiding you back to the foundation of it all. Deep, meaningful listening.
And we're not just saying, listen more. We're going to show you how to listen in a way that builds fluency naturally. So let's start with our first powerful shift.
Tip number 1. Listen in layers. Too many learners treat listening like a test. You play the audio once, try to understand every word, and feel defeated if you don't. But real listening, the kind that helps you grow, isn't about perfection. It's about purpose.
So here's the approach. Break one audio clip into 3 simple layers. First, just listen for the gist. What's the topic? What's the overall mood or idea? Don't pause. Don't stress. Just let it wash over you.
Then, go back and listen again. But now, focus on structure. How are sentences built? What tense is being used? What's the rhythm of their speech?
And finally, listen a third time, slowly. This time, pay attention to word choice, emotion, and intonation. Notice the tone. Did their voice rise at the end of a question? Did they sound curious, sarcastic, tired?
Same audio, 3 different goals. And the result? You train your brain to pick up layers of language, not just meaning, but feeling. And that's what fluency really is.
And once your ears are tuned in like that, The natural next step is speaking, right?
Well, not just yet.
Right. A lot of learners jump straight from listening to mimicking and end up sounding robotic or unsure.
That's why our second tip is shadow with silence first. Before you try to repeat after native speakers, give yourself space to feel the language without pressure.
Think of it like music. You don't sing along with a new song the first time you hear it. You listen. You absorb the melody. You catch the rhythm. Then you hum. Then you sing. It's the same with English.
So when you're shadowing, try this. Play the sentence. Pause. And instead of rushing to repeat it, just sit with it for a moment. Because as we discussed earlier, the key is to listen in layers. First for meaning, then for rhythm. And now, in this moment, for feel. Shadowing works best when it builds on those layers, not skips over them.
Yes. Let your brain dance with the rhythm of English before you echo it. This creates natural speech, not memorized phrases.
Shadowing works best when it's grounded in real, emotional listening. Silence isn't empty, it's preparation. But none of these techniques matter if you only do them once in a while. And that brings us to tip number 3. Create a daily listening ritual.
The key word here is ritual, not just a habit, not just an activity. A ritual is something you protect. It has meaning. It's that small window of your day that belongs only to your growth.
When I was learning English, I made a promise to myself. No matter what happens today, I'll give just 15 minutes to English listening. Not multitasking, not half listening. Just me, my headphones, and a voice that pulled me into the language. Over time, that small promise became a powerful habit.
And the best part is, you don't need an hour, even 10 minutes, while brushing your teeth, making tea, or walking to work, can shape your brain. What matters isn't how long you listen, it's how often. Ritual brings rhythm, and rhythm brings fluency.
So choose your moment. Maybe it's your morning walk. Maybe it's your wind-down time before bed. Whatever it is, make listening your quiet, daily practice. Let it become your anchor.
And once that ritual becomes part of you, there's one challenge most learners face next. What should I listen to? And that brings us to the next tip. Tip number 4, curate with intention. Don't consume everything.
Exactly. We live in a world where there's too much to listen to. Podcasts, YouTube, stories, interviews, audiobooks, reels. It's endless. And while that might sound exciting, it can actually leave you paralyzed.
I've been there, opening 5 videos, never finishing one, jumping between accents, styles, topics, thinking I was being productive. But actually, I was just overwhelming myself. It's content overload, and honestly, it drains your focus more than it feeds your growth.
That's why the answer isn't to do more. It's to choose better. Pick 1 or 2 English sources that you genuinely enjoy, something that feels familiar, something you can return to again and again without pressure, because depth builds understanding, and repetition builds fluency.
It's like a garden. You can't water every plant in the world, but you can care deeply for just a few and watch them bloom. Same with listening. Go deep, not wide. Familiarity builds fluency. Your brain relaxes. It starts to recognize rhythms, phrases, even personality.
So instead of chasing something new every day, choose your core input. A podcast you like, a YouTube channel that makes you smile, even this show. Let that be your home base, your safe zone for daily exposure.
And then, once that foundation is strong, once your ears feel comfortable, there's one more thing you must do to grow beyond your bubble.
Tip number 5. Listen across contexts. Because English in the real world doesn't sound like a classroom. It's fast. It's messy. It's full of personality.
Wait. I know what you're thinking. Didn't you just tell me to curate my content and not listen to everything at once?
Exactly. And you're right to catch that. But here's the thing. Those two tips aren't opposites. They're phases. First, you need consistency. Familiar voices, familiar styles, to help your brain feel safe and steady. But once you've built that foundation, now it's time to stretch.
I remember the first time I tried to watch an unscripted interview between two comedians. They were laughing, interrupting each other, finishing each other's sentences. And I just sat there, frozen. I understood nothing.
Because real-world English isn't one accent, one tone, one topic. It's interviews, arguments, laughter, sarcasm, mumbling, emotion, pauses, overlaps, all of it. If you only listen in one style, your ears stay inside a bubble. And fluency doesn't live there.
So once you feel comfortable, intentionally step into different contexts. Start exploring. Watch a vlog. Listen to an emotional speech. Try a news story, then switch to a comedy podcast.
Think of it like going to the gym. At first, you train with light weights, controlled movements. But eventually, to grow stronger, you challenge your balance, speed, and flexibility. Same goes for your ears.
The goal isn't to understand everything at once. It's to expand your ears, to teach your brain that English isn't one size fits all, and that you can keep up even when it's fast and imperfect. Because in the real world, English won't slow down. But if you've trained your ears across different voices and settings, you won't need it to. Yes, that's the power of listening. It shapes how you speak, how you understand, and how confident you feel. And to help you take today's episode even further,
It's time to slow things down, just a little.
and if you're listening right now and thinking, wow, I actually understood more than I thought I would, that is progress. That's fluency growing in the background.
So keep showing up. Keep listening. Even on the days when it feels slow, remember, your ears are learning more than you realize.
All right, friends, that's it for today.